Hi again, it's so nice to see everyone virtually. Today is the 14th of June, Sunday in Singapore. You're on Music and Chat with Shueh-li Ong, and it's a good morning from me to you. Please say, please say hi in the live chat. Please say hi in the live chat and let us know where you're tuning in from, and don't be backward and coming forward. Still have a little issue with waking up. Actually, I've been up for quite a while now, but I think my mind is still on something else, like, where is my mug of water? So I have noticed, I think what was on my mind was that I noticed there is a longer lag today than before. I counted a 35-second delay from me to you. So be patient and everything will be revealed. So let me just bring up my... here we are. And it's a good morning to Bill Lynch as well, my friend from Doylestown, Pennsylvania. I see 8 other bodies lurking around virtually. Come say hi and don't be backward with coming forward. All right, so we are in phase 1 post lockdown in Singapore, and I seem to be busier than ever, which is always a good thing to stay occupied, isn't it? Bill tells me the video is not syncing with the audio. Yeah, that was kind of the issue that was bugging me when I couldn't get the words out. There seems to be a syncing problem, not a sinking problem, but a syncing problem. Hi, Mike from Eugene. Whereabouts are you again in Eugene? I mean, in Oregon, but not Cheshire. Somewhere close to Cheshire, Oregon. So Mike is on almost the opposite end of where Bill is, on the west. All right. So Mike tells me that he has no issue with the video and audio syncing up. So my good friend Michael Spicer, Mix for short. Hi, Mix. Michael likes to have his cup of coffee ready, or tea. I have my mug of water. Sam from Sydney, Australia. Oh, okay. Yeah. So Bill and Mike are having cross chat now. They want to trade positions in the US of A. Hi Val, how are you this morning? It's great to see everybody. As I've said before, it's like having my own party and I get to play host and star in it too. Okie dokie. Don't forget that if you have any questions for me or my guest, please put your questions in the live chat and I shall address them as the stream moves along. Bear in mind there's the lag, so when I get to you, it could be a little later along with the answer. But don't be shy. Okay, I will start with 2 pieces that I want to play for you to set the tone for today's live stream. But it's your responsibility to let me know what these 2 pieces have in common. Okay, let me just turn on my theremin. Oops, that's not my theremin. That's Skype. This is my theremin cam. Okay. I think my video and my audio will be in sync very soon. Okay, so what do those two pieces have in common? Tick tock, tick tock. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Let's see. I will give you 30 seconds to answer this. What do the two have in common? Bill Lynch has a question. What show was that? Oh, maybe it was an answer to Sam saying my favorite show. Lots of laughter. All right, time's up. Yeah, Star Trek was the second one. The original Star Trek theme. But what do the two have in common? I kind of gave you a clue already. Okay, while you're thinking about it, and if you haven't subscribed already to my channel, please subscribe. Thank you. Okay, while you debate the answer, a little history for you. In the late 19th century, silent movies were the norm. Thanks to development in tape technology in the 20s, we got talking movies. That was a great gift to us, talking movies, but it didn't always turn out so well for movie stars because their voices did not always match their debonair or elegant appearance. Their fans ran away immediately upon hearing their screechy voices or voices that did not befit their distinguished exterior. But without sound, we wouldn't have musicals on film. Without sound, our favorite sci-fi movies would flop without sound effects. So the two vital components we've come to expect from movies or films, TV programs, are visuals and sound. And that has a lot to do with our next guest. We're a little early for our guest, Kira Smith, but we shall bring her in anyway. Oh, few seconds for me to pull in a few other comments. Sam says they're both from MGM. You know, we need to Google that. I am not sure. Both have theremin solos? Keep guessing. Okay, I hope Kira is ready because I'm going to bring a special guest in. As I said, we were a couple of minutes early, but she is ready and waiting, I hope. So here we go. Hey, Kira. Ah, there you are.
Hi.
We're a few
I'm
minutes
watching you play
early.
though. That's confusing.
Yeah, we're a few
Hi.
minutes early, but we thought you were there anyway, so we'd call you in.
Oh, that's funny because I was just watching you play Somewhere Over the Rainbow on here, but I guess I'm behind
Oh,
a
yeah,
little.
there is a
Uh,
lag. Yeah, there's a lag. Today it seems to be a bit more obvious. So I think I played Somewhere Over the Rainbow a minute or 2 minutes ago.
oh,
Oh, actually, no, I maybe 4 minutes ago because I played the theme to
oh,
Star Trek after that.
oh. Well, I'm gonna have to go back and look at it then.
But thanks for being here, Kira. Everyone, please say hi to Kira. Hi, Kira. So, Kira, my friends and viewers of my live stream have given you a nickname. When I introduced you last week, they decided you'd be known as the smooth boom operator.
They don't know that.
Well, you're my friend, so I'm gonna say I can vouch for that.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you. I try. I try to be smooth, but
So I have my friends Bill Lynch in Doylestown, Pennsylvania saying, hello, Kira. My,
hi.
my friend from Sydney, Australia saying, hello, Kira.
Cool.
So I know what a boom is, but I was hoping you could explain, make it a summary of the explanation of what a boom is and what it does. Some people might not be familiar with the boom.
Boom operator. Well, it's the stick with the mic on the end. You know, when you watch the behind the scenes footage, you see the person with the mic hovering over the actors' heads and cueing with the dialogue and everything. And that's a very simplified explanation of what I do. Yeah, that's me.
Okay, so everyone, a boom is a microphone, in case you're wondering. Because, you know, there is a boom at the entrance and exit of parking lots.
And there are boom operators that actually, often get confused online with boom operators that refuel jets
Yeah.
midair.
There you go. Kira does not work in aviation or in parking lots.
No, no. The boom has the mic at the end of it, and so it's it's a
Absolutely.
boom mic.
Thank you. So we've demystified that term. So I've got on my notes here that the next thing I do want to do is to show everyone a clip from a trailer from one of the movies you worked on, and then we would scroll through some of the behind the scenes, so you can give us some commentary. To questions I have. I got questions for some of these clips. And if anyone in the viewing audience has questions as they see these making of clips, please feel free to drop them in the live chat area so Kira can answer them. I'm sorry, Kira, I got distracted by another comment. My friend Bill from Doylestown, Pennsylvania, who said hello earlier, he said, Dan, was hoping for a KC-130 refueling story. I don't know what the KC-130 is. I assume it's a plane of sorts.
Maybe he's your next guest.
Bill, I don't think you work in aviation, do you? My friend Bill Lynch. No, he doesn't work in aviation.
Oh.
I do know someone who works in aviation, though, but it's unrelated to the media industry, so highly unlikely he'll be our guest. But let's move on. So here's the clip. So I believe you should see Kira and I in a picture-in-picture while I show you this clip. Here we go.
I watch this perfect couple.
Sorry, not like Kira in this clip instead of my Theremin cam. Here we are. That's Kira. Okay, here's the clip. Oh, wrong one.
I used to watch this perfect couple. They were the embodiment of
Should I be seeing it
true
too?
love.
No, you would see it on your phone though if you're watching YouTube.
Oh,
I
okay.
want to start my life over again.
Except that I have a big delay, so maybe I won't see it. Well, you'll just have to tell me what it is. No, you're still playing Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
I saw
isn't
it
it?
from the
There
train.
it is.
Okay, that was a little clip from the trailer of the girl on the train. The girl on the train, which I did
Okay.
watch recently, and I really loved it.
Okay.
I like a little suspense, and somehow Emily Blunt seems to befit that role really well. She's got that thing about her. I mean, she's such a sophisticated actress, but in that role, she kind of dumbs down some. So you kind of feel sorry for her, and yet you want to shake her.
Yeah, oh, totally.
Yeah, she
Oh,
did
yeah,
a great job there.
Yeah,
So that
she's cool.
was the girl on the train clip from the trailer. We're gonna look at some of the behind the scenes. Sorry, I can't seem to be able to show you this, Kira, but you will get it eventually on the YouTube screen. So I'm gonna soldier on. I will comment on what's happening for you. So the first
Okay.
one is the here we go, everyone. Here is the balcony from. And we've lost Kira again. Why did she do that? Let us
What did I do?
try her. Don't you worry, it's on my side. So here's the balcony from the girl on the train clip.
Oh, I can see that now.
Oh,
yeah,
good.
okay. I can
Okay, goody.
now. Okay.
So that's Kira on our right, holding the boom with an extra long and extension arm. I can see that it's extended maybe twice or 3 times.
It looks like it's about maybe 15 feet, probably.
Oh, wow, that's pretty long. So what is the longest you've had to stand to do one of these? Do you recall? Stand still.
45 minutes.
Ah.
I've had to hold. Yeah, it's different now with everything's video now. When we used to shoot on film, the longest it would be about 12 minutes because that's the longest you can shoot on film with the mag size on the camera. But now that we shoot video, they just go on and on and on. It just goes on forever. So yeah, 45 minutes was the longest time. I think I was on Manchurian Candidate was the longest, I think.
Wow, I don't think I watched that movie yet. There's so many movies I need to catch up on. As I went through the list of gigs that you've done, I thought I haven't watched that.
You don't need to certainly watch all of them. Some are a lot better than others.
So I have a little thing here. Kira in action. So tell me, are you always accurate at aiming the boom? I see that it has to be a certain distance from the actor or actors and the tip of the boom, right? Are you always accurate that way? Is there some tolerance?
It depends on what mic you're using. The longer mics are a little bit more directional, so you have to be a little more careful with your directing of the mic. Some of the shorter mics are a little bit more forgiving because they have a wider pattern on them. The clip from the balcony, that was a fairly directional mic, and it was pretty close. So that one wasn't so hard because it was pretty close to the actors, but how close I can be to the actors really depends on the edge of the frame. So,
Okay, that's something. Go on.
Oh no, I would say I would like to think that I'm mostly accurate.
That's really.
I strive for accuracy. Yes.
That's why they call you back, right? To work.
Yes, I do work a lot, so must be doing something right, I guess.
That was interesting information about microphone placement. Everyone, those of you who are in audio, you would understand the difference between unidirectional mics and, let's say, cardioid mics, where I guess for a place like an outdoor scene, you really need more accuracy. Otherwise, you capture the sound from the environment. So you need a unidirectional mic. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool! Wow, I learned a lot today. I mean,
that's actually what you call a hypercardioid pattern with the shotgun mics, which is sort of like an elongated teardrop pattern. So and they have these rejection tubes on the outside, so you try to not to pick up too much. But it's New York City, so even if you have one of those, you're gonna get a lot of unwanted noise. So, but we do our best.
Whereabouts in New York City was this? If you're able to tell us.
The girl on the train clip on the balcony. It was actually in Westchester somewhere. We did a fake train track on the other side of it. It was in a really quiet neighborhood.
Oh.
And we were pretending that there was a train track in their backyard, but there wasn't. I don't remember the name of the town. It was just a very residential, nice area. A couple nice houses next door. We shot in both houses. So
cool. Let's look at the next clip I have on my list. Will I go get a drink as well?
See if I can see it on the.
That was a clip from Mr. Popper's Penguins. I haven't seen that one either.
Oh, that's a fun one. Okay, I'm seeing it now. Sorry. Oh, okay.
I'll play it again.
No. I'm watching it now. There's a delay. I'm seeing it. This one. Okay.
Sorry, guys. I have a bug in my throat.
Okay.
Always happens early in the morning. So, in this clip, you are running.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I am running.
How do you maintain that posture where you're holding up the boom and you're running at the same time? I don't think I could do that. I'll probably hit my head with it.
That part's easy. I think the part that sometimes is difficult is running and not looking where you're running. The bigger problem becomes like, trying not to. I mean, you look ahead of yourself before you go, and hopefully you're not going to trip over anything or run into anything, or because you can look sort of back and forth, but you really have to watch the actors. So hopefully you don't fall over. But holding my arms up, I've been doing it a long time, so I don't even think about that anymore, really.
Do you have to know the script ahead of time to plot your trajectory, like where I'm going to run?
What?
Yeah.
I used to have to know the script ahead of time, and I'll tell you what, when I used to work at Law and Order, we would get the scripts and the actors would have to stick to the script exactly. And there was a whole politics about changing lines and stuff like that. So, and back then we didn't do like two booms or a lot of wires or anything. So I was literally having to learn all the dialogue and do all the cues.
Wow.
Point at all the actors when I'm supposed to. But nowadays, and I don't know why it's changed, but script revisions come in fast and furious, like all day long, the day before, the night of, the morning of. And it actually doesn't pay to learn the script ahead of time because it's much harder to unlearn something than it is to learn something quickly in the morning. So I've actually gotten to the point where I can get what they call the sides, which is little tiny versions of the script, flip through it and memorize big scenes the morning of, like right before we shoot them. Because if you memorize a big scene the night before and then they change it, there's all the echoes, echoes of all of the other revisions, and you really get screwed up. So I used to memorize that. Like if we had like a 5-page dinner scene coming up, I would like, oh my God, and I would memorize it, and then we would shoot it just like that the next day. But that's not true anymore. So I just have to adjust.
How long could the longest scene be typically?
Most scenes aren't more than, like in a narrative, most scenes aren't more than like 10 minutes or 15 minutes. But again, with video, what a lot of directors do is they don't cut. They'll say, oh, go go again, go again, go again. And we'll just start all the way from the beginning again without cutting for some reason, because it looks good on the other end. And, oh, we only did 3 takes. I'm like, okay, no, you didn't. You did like 15 takes. You just ran them all together. You're rat bastards. Everything's changing. So, but generally a scene's usually about 10 minutes long, maybe 15 minutes. But we don't always cut, so.
So do you then coordinate with the camera crew as well? So you're not in their way as well, if you know what I'm saying?
You mean so they're not in my way?
Oh, okay. All right.
No,
so that's how it works.
No, it's not how it works in my dream. Yes, well, no, I have to have a very good relationship with the camera operator or camera operators, more than one, because I need to know. I need to know what the frame lines are, and if they change, they need to let me know, or I need to have a system of knowing when the shots have changed, especially if the dialogue recording is solely based on me, the boom operator. A lot of times we'll mix body mics with the boom, or only do body mics and I'm just getting ambient, whatever. But if I'm the breadwinner in a situation, I need to know exactly where the frame is so I can, sit right at the top of it like that. A really great camera operator will be in sync with me and explain to me, oh, I'm changing this. I'm going wider. The frame's changing. I'm not doing this. They need to communicate with me so that I can do my job to the best of my ability.
Wow, so it must be a very tight type of situation, because you don't really want to impede the acting from happening or the directing from happening, from taking place. So there is some form of are there particular cues or words that you use with the camera crew to make sure that you are communicating what you need to? Oh.
Yes, I mean, I think every yes, we fall into a way of communicating with camera operators. Like first of all, a good boom operator always puts themselves in a position that they can see the camera operator. Because while they're operating, sometimes they'll do this, which means like I'm too close to the edge. Like they've changed their frame and now this is their way of letting me know I got to. We do communicate while we're rolling. Sometimes I'll look at them and they'll, or a lot of times the focus puller who can see the monitor and can see whatever will sometimes make gestures to me, mostly nice, of adjustments that I have to make. But it's a pretty symbiotic relationship. But basically, to the camera operator, the focus puller, and me, we all have to work together really well. We have to be pretty tight. So
you've never had to use the middle finger then?
Oh, I have used the middle finger. I mean, but it's mostly I've used the middle finger not at camera operators, but at sometimes behind the scenes people shooting, like those clips that we just saw. Sometimes the behind the scenes people get in the way, and I'm not in the mood, so I sometimes will boom while giving the finger so that they can't use the footage that they're shooting as punishment for being in the way. I mean, but most of the time it's fine. But I don't like. I mean, when I work on a job, I automatically end up signing a waiver that basically says they can film me anytime they want and use it for whatever they want.
Yeah.
And I don't always like that. Nobody ever likes that. So sometimes.
That's interesting. I've got 2 questions. I got 3 interesting ones. Yeah, already. You're a popular subject today. The first one's from my friend Bill. He says, I was going to ask, how do you get low but not too low?
Actually, what happens is once I know what the frame line is, I pick a mark opposite me on the wall. Oh. And as long as I keep that mark on the wall, or it might be the edge of a frame, might be the edge of a picture frame or something, like I see a mark on the wall, and I know that I can't go below that once I know what the frame edge is.
Boy, if I were you, I'd have parallax error. If I put a mark on a wall, I am sure, because I'm a shorty, I am sure I would misjudge it.
Well, no, I mean, it's all from wherever your point of view is. Whatever you look, you see like, okay, like I would say to myself, okay, I know that when this actor is at this point, I can't go below that door frame in my perspective. So it's all from your perspective. It's just like, okay, and then when I'm going for that line over there, I know that I can't go below the top of that plant or whatever. And that's how I keep the frame lines in my mind, because we do often do rehearsals. We'll do like one rehearsal before the actors come in, and I'll be like, can I be here? What's your frame over there? Blah, blah, blah. And once I get all the information, then I know exactly where I can be. And then, hopefully a camera person will tell me when it changes.
Wow, that's hard work.
And other times we don't know what the frame is. Sometimes we just, especially if it's a steady cam or something. And then I have to know lenses pretty well. I mean, I have to know, like, if the camera operator's standing here and the actor's there, and I know they're on a 35 millimeter lens, then I kind of know at this point, after, 28 years, I kind of know what size that is. So.
Gotcha. So you really need to have a lot of understanding of the information that's needed in the entire arena of filmmaking then.
Yeah,
to be able to make
the camera. Yeah, I have to know a lot about lighting, because I have to make sure that I don't cast shadows or I mean, there's a lot while we're setting up the shot. I actually do have a lot to do, because I have to check out my pole positions and go to like the electricians and say, hey, I've got a really bad shadow there. Can we change the lights, or can ask the grip department, can you flag this off for me, blah blah blah. And I think at this point I have a pretty good understanding of what they can and cannot do for me. Obviously you can't flag off a light that's lighting somebody, but you can flag off a light that's lighting the wall and not really doing anything important, whatever. You get a sense of that after a while.
So from what I understand, in the U.S., where I've also worked in, when you say electrician, you're referring to the lighting designer or lighting person.
The lighting.
But in British terms, I believe, at least in Singapore and Australia, an electrician is someone who deals with electricity. They do wiring and stuff. If they're a lighting designer, they're called light. This is for the benefit of my friends who are watching in from Australia or Singapore, in case they think electrician does lights. Wow, that's pretty cool. To let them know that an electrician in the U.S., in this case, is referring to someone who does lights. Also on stage, theater or live shows, an electrician does lights. They also might do wiring.
They do. Yeah. No, they do. They're not licensed electricians in the sense that they're going to come into your house and, let's make that, 2-prong outlet a 3-prong. They're not licensed to do that.
And by the way, I brought my lights.
Yeah, well, but no, they do a lot of wiring and, they running LED lights in the ceiling. Anytime you go into a set and there's lights, that's the electricians. And I know they're called juicers or something else. They do have another name outside the United States, but they are called electricians here. Gotcha. What is the name?
Yeah, I know.
There's a name for. I'll think of it in a second. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right, I got more questions.
Okay.
Sam. Oh no, he's talking about bloopers. Sam is from Sydney, Australia. We see a lot of bloopers. All right, we see a lot of bloopers. Who was the most memorable mic accident that you have had? Or what was the most memorable mic accident that you have had?
I hit Miranda Otto on the top of her head.
Oh no!
Yeah. Oops. It was a pilot for this stupid show called Kashmir Mafia, and I slipped and I bonked her on the head. But I haven't had any. Yeah, have I? And then I hit a background actor one time who was walking. I know what happened. It was really great. I've only hit people like maybe 3 times in a 30-year career, which I think is pretty good. But I did end up hitting a camera assistant who, it was on Law and Order, the original Law and Order, and we were doing a rehearsal, and I had a really quick cue where I had to yank the pole back. Oh. And we were rehearsing, and there was a camera assistant running back and forth, as they do. Camera assistants are all like, yeah! Time to make the donuts. They're always running around. And I said, hey, be careful, I have this cue. And they're like, no problem. And the pole was coming this way, and and he was running this way, and I actually hit him right in the forehead. He turned to look, went boom, right in the forehead, and he went, my bad, and he sort of stumbled around a bit, and I think that's the most exciting pole accident I've had. It was funny. It was not my fault, but it was great. It was really great.
That was a good one. Bill again. Bill has a lot of questions today. Do they edit it out if you get in frame, or do they have to retake?
Very interesting question. It used to be back in the old days of just film, when I first started, that it was catastrophic if the boom got in. It was just like the end of the world, and we would have to go again. Nowadays that it's digital, it's actually quite easy to
scrub you out.
Scrub you out.
Yeah.
And in fact, which is really great, I worked on the first season of House of Cards, which was a David Fincher production. And David Fincher decided, like, well, I like the sound of the booms better than the wires, so let's just put the booms in the shot. So we would have this big wide shot of like two people talking like this, and the booms would be like right in there. And they would plan for it. They would just say, okay, they would shoot a plate of the scene for like 12 seconds, and then they would just plop the booms right in. So that's something that's evolving right now. That's becoming more acceptable to do that, which would be great because everything would sound a lot better if we did.
Yeah. I did have a question about that later.
Okay.
And we have my good friend Grant Davis, who is in Victoria, Australia. So you have two people from Australia. Hi. Grant says he used to be an My tongue is tight today for some strange reason. I don't know what it is. My video and my audio are not syncing today. Grant was an electrics technician.
Oh, like a film electric.
When I worked with him, we did live shows on stage. I don't know if he has done film. Grant, have you done film? My nickname for Grant is Gruntles. I don't know why I call him Gruntles and he called me Shoebox. So.
Oh, that's nice.
So we'll wait for Gruntles to let us know what he worked on.
So a lighting technician. So a lighting engineer, technician, whatever, for live concerts.
Yeah, so he said I was an electrics technician. I guess that's the term for the role. Interesting. We'll see what he says in about 2 minutes. So
Sparks.
Yeah.
Sparks. That's what they call electricians in some other countries.
Oh, sparks.
Sparks. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, in England, but I'm not.
Oh.
Don't quote me. I think.
Okay, I'm going to reply to Sam from Sydney, Australia, because I know what the fuzzy cover over the mic is. Well, actually, no, I'll post it to our guest since she's here. But we all know what the fuzzy cover over the mic does.
It's a windscreen. It keeps the wind off the mic. So we also sometimes call it a ride coat because that's the #1 brand of fuzzy windscreen coverings there are. Ride coat.
So it kind of buffers the environment from the microphone, because if there's a lot of wind, it could hit the microphone.
Keeps the wind out.
Yeah, and it would go tap, 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 tap. So it kind of buffers.
I mean, basically that big fuzzy thing like this is the cage. There's like a plastic, cage with netting in it, and then over it goes the wind covering. But the mic itself is really like this, and maybe like very thin, and it seats into this big cage with the fur on it. The fur makes a huge difference, and it doesn't really cut down on the sound that you're getting that you want. It just takes out the wind, so it's pretty good.
So my friend Sam from Sydney, Australia says Sparky.
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 Okay, cool.
He says they are known here as sparkies in Australia.
Cool.
Gruntle says, did film years ago. Too much hurry up and wait. Theater is always busy.
Theater's probably really cool. I would love to do like live shows. That's the best. That would be great.
Mm-hmm.
What I do gets pretty stale after like take 20. It's like,
So you mentioned clips and radio mics. Sorry, I'm looking at my list
Hmm.
earlier on. How often do you do clips and radio mics? I guess you're in charge of making. I guess you get a list of things that you need to deal with each day. Is that what happens? So you know that, all
Um,
right, I need to get ready my clips, and for this scene, I need to get it.
um,
Yeah.
no, basically what happens, they'll do a rehearsal of the first scene of the day, and then they'll talk about what the camera angles are going to be, and then we figure out whether we can get it with just the boom, or do we need to have two booms, or do we need to wire somebody,
Ah.
and then what we'll do is we'll tell the production people, the first AD, it's like, oh, we need to wire Bertha or somebody so and so so. And then what'll happen is like I'll stay on set. Oftentimes I'll stay on set and do the rehearsals, the boom rehearsals, and then maybe our utility or the sound mixer will go down to the dressing room and put the body mic on somebody. Um, I mean, I did it in the past. I would do a lot of body mic. I haven't done it. I don't do a lot of it now because the person I work with now wants to try to boom pretty much everything. So I'm always on set, and
Oh,
to go wire somebody sort of takes me away from where I need to be. So I don't do it as much anymore.
okay. Oh, that's interesting. So let's show the next clip. This one is from Revolutionary Road. Again, I've not
Okay.
watched this one yet. It's got
Uh,
you walking through like a foresty type of area.
oh yeah. Okay.
Hopeless
I think I
emptiness.
know what that is.
And I have a
Okay.
question for you based on this clip. Have you ever walked into a tree?
No, but should I? Oh wait. So I'm gonna see if I can. Oh,
And
there it is. Okay. I'm
have you
watching the clip.
ever had your boom tangle with a tree?
Yes, I've had my boom. That's Roger Deacon in the foreground, by the way.
Okay.
Uh, very famous DP. Um, he just won, I think, last year an Oscar. Anyway, yes, I've had my booms tangled up in branches. I have not run into a tree, but one time when I was working on Limitless, we had a scene where what was her name?
Is that
Ah,
Limitless, the movie or the.
yeah, the movie, the
Okay.
one with Bradley Cooper and Abby something or other. Anyway, Abby something or other was running through Central Park, and my boss wanted me to just get the sound of her like breathing, I mean, just
Oh.
like, well, we don't need to put a wire on her. And it was a shot like this, and the Steadicam was pulling back with her, and I was running alongside. Now she's on the paved pathway, and I'm in the dirt running alongside her, and my foot catches, and I go, "Zhboosh," like straight down on my face. And I remember at the last moment I sort of arched back because I didn't want the mic to hit the ground. So and I'm like face first in the dirt, and the shot continues. Um, so then when I went to go, I was like, "Oh, sorry, everybody." I'm like, "No, whatever. It's just the sound of somebody breathing. They could loop it over or whatever." So it was no big loss. But I went to watch the clip back, the take, and you see this close up of this woman like running like this, and and suddenly the breathing drops out, and then a few feet later you see me like prone on the ground in the distance. This is really great. That's a clip I'd like to have.
Yeah.
Actually.
Didn't you
Okay.
capture your running on the soft ground as well? Your footsteps, your running
No.
steps? Oh,
Mm,
because it's too
no,
far.
well, yeah, because the mic is very directional, and it's 15 feet from me, and I'm running in the dirt, and she's on the pavement. So yeah, so the distance and the directionality of the mic, I don't hear me. Which is
Very good. Well, I like that anecdote.
Yeah, that was fun.
Did you suffer any cuts or bruises from that?
From that, no, just like a lot of dirt in my face, and yeah. So, but I other than that, I haven't really fallen that many times. That was the first and only time I've ever actually tripped and fallen on my face while I was at work. So, hopefully the last.
Yeah, I admire you. I have 2 left feet.
Wow, that's awesome. Well, it's funny because when I first started, I was really terrible because it's very hard to not be aware of your own body. Like the mic has to be in a certain place, and it doesn't matter where your body is. The mic has to be where it has to be. And so I when I first started, I took a lot of Tai Chi because that helped me get a lot more balance without having to think about it. So that was really helpful.
Wow.
So I got a lot better after that. Because I can't be thinking about where my body is. I have to concentrate on where the microphone is.
Yeah.
And I can't. So.
Wow. Yeah, you need to focus on the job. So here's a befitting question from Val. Val says, how did you get started then as a boom operator?
I went to film school like every other idiot that doesn't need to go to film school. And I started off as a location scout, a location assistant. And as a location assistant, I don't know if you know, a location assistant in New York City has to deal with the sound department a lot because it's like, oh, could you stop the dog barking? I mean, a location assistant is the liaison between the film crew and the neighborhood that you're imposing yourself on and annoying. So I would have to like get a dog to stop barking, or, you know, can you get that car alarm? Like, oh yeah, sure, I can get the car alarm. But so I ended up interacting with the sound department a lot, and I just remember thinking like I was actually a pretty terrible location assistant. So I was like, oh, I gotta move to another. I gotta go somewhere. And sound just was. I've always liked, you know, doing recordings, and I've always been into sound. So it was just made sense to me.
There you go. Did you have to study up sound engineering or sound basics or whatever? You know, I don't know what you have to study.
Wouldn't I be smart if I did that? No, I am no, not at all. No, it's the majority of the jobs that you can get in the film industry are, you know, they're like, what do you call it? Apprenticeship, really. I mean, you learn on the job, or you learn, you know, doing low budget movies. I learned doing low budget movies. I did like 3 years of low budget sound mixing and booming before I joined the union, and then got onto better jobs that paid more and were higher profile. But no, I didn't. No, the film school I went to didn't have a program. Didn't have any classes that really. I think they do now, of course, but I gave them all my money, and yeah, thanks. And I'm no longer there. Yes, I think they have a lot of classes. They have classes in that, but I didn't take any classes in sound design or recording or anything like that. No, I learned as I went. So.
Wow. All right, let's watch. I've got here 3 clips of Kira in action.
Oh.
The first one I have got here is a Money Monster.
Please, turn around. No.
That scene didn't sound very exciting. It went, no,
Oh, I didn't see it. Okay.
with George Clooney going, no,
Oh, there I see. Oh, I see it. Yeah. All right, the fight. Okay. All right. Yeah.
What's missing there is sound effects, see, because there's no sound effects
Right.
or no movie soundtrack, so all you get is
Right.
no,
Yeah, it's a totally different animal when you goes to post, for sure.
And Kira is in her black hoodie. I'll play another one. Walter Mitty, which I haven't watched either.
Oh, that's a good one.
With
Money Monster. It was okay.
with Ben Stiller. Did I get it
Ben
right?
St-
That's Walter Mitty, isn't it? With Ben Stiller.
Yeah, the Secret Life of Walter Mitty.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a remake of an older one with Walter Matthau. That was pretty great.
Oh.
Yeah, that's Ben. Yeah, it's a remake.
And again, Kira has her black hoodie on,
Yeah.
which leads us to believe you have a uniform of sorts for some reason.
Yes, the reason, several reasons. One is to not be distracting to the actors. Another is a lot of times you have to, there's sometimes, if you're in a set that has a lot of glass, it's very easy to be reflected in the glass, and it's easier to stay out of reflection if you're wearing black. So like my entire closet is full of black t-shirts and sweatshirts and jeans and everything. It's all black. So very exciting. And all my everything I have is pretty much black, so takes the guesswork out.
Is that your favorite black hoodie, though?
I don't, I lost that hoodie. I don't know where it is. I lose sweatshirts. Like because you take them off. You're like, oh, I gotta take the sweatshirt off. It's too hot, or you throw it in a corner, and then the set dressers get mad that you've thrown your clothing on the set, and then they hide it from you because they're pissed, and then you have to try to find it again. Or you just leave the set, or you work for 3 days on a set on a location, and you load out and you go to the next location. You're like, my black hoodie, and then you just have to get another one.
So do you buy like several of each when you go shopping? I'm gonna have 10 of those, please.
Yes, I do. I have I'm down to my last dark gray hoodie I have right now. So I've lost quite a few. But you just lose stuff, because you don't have time to think. It's just like rush. Oh my God. And you just, it's like a freight train.
So Bill says that looks like carbon fiber boom.
Yes, it is. It is triple spun carbon fiber. It's an ambient plugging. Here, I'll plug. Ambient. Ambient makes a really great pole that doesn't bow. There are other poles that if you put a heavy mic on it, when you get all the way out, the pole starts going like this, bowing. But the ambient does not. Of course, it's heavy as F, but it's very heavy. But it doesn't bow, so it's great. It's carbon fiber, yeah.
So I have a question from Val, but I think we've answered that already because you use radio mics as well, right?
Yeah.
You have in a past.
We don't. Yeah, we do. And depending on the job, you either use a lot of radio mics or not a lot.
Yeah.
Of radio mics.
So Val's question was, do you use a wireless microphone? And the answer is yes, when you need to.
Yes. But we also, some people I work with actually use wireless booms, which is fun. So that's a whole other thing. Most of the known universe uses wireless booms now, except for my boss. So I'm still cabled to, So I'm still cabled to the soundboard. So I have to drag this like 5-pin cable around behind me, which is miserable. So, but yeah, so if she was wondering about wireless boom, most people use a wireless boom now. So.
Do you have a different set of problems with wireless though?
Yes. You mean meaning wireless boom or just the body mics?
Wireless boom, let's say.
Okay. Sometimes with a wireless boom, you'll get radio interference problems. You'll get RF hits, something to get in the way between your signal and the mixing cart, and you'll get crackles or problems. And also the monitoring sometimes isn't as good, because you have to listen off of headphones and you're listening off of something, you're receiving a signal, and sometimes, something gets in the way of that. So then you're booming and not being able to hear what you're doing very well. So sometimes that's not good.
Better you than me. Because I have 2 left feet.
Oh, how does 2 left? Okay, but I don't actually use my feet to boom. Well, I do, but okay.
I was just being silly. All right, let's watch another clip. This one is Adjustment Bureau with
Matt Damon and Emily Blunt.
What the hell are you doing?
Again, Emily Blunt.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
Emily's not in this clip, unfortunately, but Matt Damon is.
Okay, I'll see if I can watch it with you.
And I think you might have answered this question already, but I had one about the lighting designer, the electrician, planning with you in mind so he can avoid casting shadows.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Oh.
Oh, wait, let me watch this clip. Oh, okay.
Because I see some shadow on the wall, but I guess that's not in the frame.
It's, right, there's a shadow on the door that's above the frame. Roger Deakin, who was the DP on this, actually is very soft lighting. And the best DPs, I feel, do a lot of soft lighting from the sides. So I don't end up having as much of a problem with having shadows on the wall and stuff like that. But yeah, no, if I can, they're one of the first friends I have to make on set is the lighting guys. Well, not actually the lighting guys, but the grip department, because the grip department is the one that's going to be, catching stray light and flagging it off for me. In Japan, it's the electricians that do that. But so I do have to coordinate. I have to make friends pretty quick. I have to be friends with the camera department and the grip department first, are my first friends.
So for those who don't know what a DP is, could you explain, please?
Oh, director of photography. He's the one who sets the mood. He's the one who decides how things are lit, what shots we're going to have, at least on movies. I think a DP on a TV show sometimes gets overridden by, directors and whatever. But they can get overridden on anything. But they're in charge of the grips and the electrics, or they're really in charge of everybody. I feel myself beholden to I feel he's not directly my boss, but he is the boss of the set. The director of photography, it's his crew, it's how he wants it to look, and so he sets the shots and designs the lighting and everything like that.
Cool. I got so many more questions. I'll pick a few. You're as I said, you're popular today. Yay!
Hey.
Sam, Sydney, Australia. Have there been any times where you have reached your physical limits? Do you need to train? E.g., the longer the stick, the heavier?
The longer the stick, the heavier. Yes, it is. The longer the stick, the heavier. And that has to do with all kinds of physics that I got a C in, so I don't understand it quite. But something about, the further the weight is from you, the heavier it is for some bizarro reason. Yes, it can get very heavy. And when I first started out, I was terrible because everything was really heavy and I didn't have the stamina to, because what I have right now is I have these really ginormous, I guess they're called traps like this. So when I go shopping for clothing, I have to rip the shoulders out because I already have shoulders.
Your shoulder pads.
It's all here. Yeah, I take the shoulder pads out. So, and it took me a while to build that up. So, and since the quarantine, my last day of work was March 14th. So once I figure out when my next day of work is, I'm going to have to back it up a month before that. I'm going to have to work out like crazy, because it's your lower back, your traps, you have to,
Do you go to the gym or do you do exercises at home for the preparation?
When I'm working 65 hours a week, I don't go to the gym. I know a lot of other boom operators that do because they're. But I find that the job is the workout. You know what I'm saying? So I do a lot of stretching when I'm at home. Now, but in between jobs, I am going to have to start working out at some point. At some point.
Cool.
But yes, no, there have been times, right, earlier the question was, have I been at my limit? Yeah, there's been times where it just really sucks. But what I can do sometimes is put the pole on my head like this.
Oh.
If I'm really tired and the actor isn't moving, if they're staying still at one point, Brooklyn, I don't know what's going on out there, but I can, there's different ways that you can move to sort of give yourself relief from being in one spot too long. But I've had some pretty harrowing, tiring days because we work 65 hours a week. Sometimes we're out in the sleet or the snow, or it's really cold. Like when we shot John Wick, the first John Wick, we were out in the Brooklyn Navy Yard. It was so cold, and the ground would actually could light on fire. There's so much of this black stuff in the ground that some of the lights were actually setting the ground on fire. So that was.
Oh, gee.
But they had rain effects and it was below freezing. It was really miserable. So yeah, sometimes it sucks.
A clip from John Wick. I'm gonna play that if I find it.
Okay.
Let's see. Here we go. It's a silent clip, so it's no sound. Yeah, we can see you rugged up a bit. It's the indoor clip, though.
Okay. Yeah. Is it from the club? No, I don't see it.
I wish I could tell you. I haven't watched John
Oh,
Wick.
there it is.
either.
There's it's Alfie Allen and John Leguizamo. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't remember what scene that is, but yeah, it was so cool to work with Alfie Allen. He's Theon from Game of Thrones. I was so excited. Yay! I was very excited about that. And John Leguizamo, I've worked with like maybe 3 or 4 times already by now.
Okay. So your work as a freelancer, how do you make sure you are first call? How do you make sure that you're the number on dial and not somebody else?
Well, I've worked with the same sound mixer for 12 years now. So whatever job he gets, I'm his call. So and then when he's not working, when he doesn't have a job, I do have several other people that want to hire me. So so I'm usually not without work except for now. But I've been doing really well for knock on wood. I've been doing really well for like the past decade. I would say I've been working a lot. Because I put up with a lot. I think that's my gift.
Yeah, you put up with a lot.
Well, no, I mean like with like personalities and there's not a lot of people that can throw me.
I was just messing with you.
Oh, okay. Yes, I do put up a lot. I put up my arms up a lot.
So, have you learned any tricks on the job? Anything that you hadn't ever used before and you realized, ooh, that's a good idea. Either suggested by someone or something you decide you could try.
A tipper or booming tipper trick that I think one of the things I had to learn was to relax, because I would get really wound up about, oh my God, what if I can't boom this scene? What if, what if? And I think at a point where I was just like, well, you can either do it or you can't. There's no point freaking out about it before you know. So I guess learning to, relax and not get so stressed out, I guess. I've learned a lot of bad habits, but
What?
I
Share.
eat a lot of sugar.
You eat a lot of sugar?
Well, when I get really stressed out at work because there's just a lot of tension at work, especially if you're working with, especially if you have like celebrities as actors. I feel like there's like 2 different things. There's actors who are just regular actors, and then you have actors who are also celebrities, and people get crazy on those shows. Like people are just like, oh, they're coming on set, and the tensions get ratcheted up, and tempers are short, and everybody wants to whatever. And so when I'm on a job like that, it can get, nerve-wracking. So then I eat sugar. It's bad. It's very bad.
So what, you have a pocket full of candy or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like if it's looking like a really bad day, I might go to craft service and get like a pocket of like peanut M&Ms, because part of that's food. There is food in there. They're nuts, so you can almost justify eating them. But yeah, so I'll have like pocket snacks, and we all do it. Like we all have like oh, what's your pocket snack? Oh, I've got Swedish fish. Oh, what's your pocket snack? Oh, I get peanut M&Ms. We all have pocket snacks to deal with stress.
Well, who can resist an M&M?
Well, exactly. Like you go to work and there's this craft service table, which is where they lay out all the food for the crew, and they put out healthy things. But if you're gonna put like like a bowl of carrots next to like a bowl of Oreos, I'm not that person. Like my house, if I shouldn't eat it, it's not here. It's not here. If I shouldn't eat it, it's not in my house. But at work, it's just like, oh, the buffet. So anyway, that's hard.
It's like someone's deliberately tempting you. Carrots or Oreos?
Yeah, it sucks. Yeah.
So Bill Lynch wants to know, do you travel a lot then? How many flights a year do you take?
It depends. I mean, I had one year that I flew a lot. I had to go to Baton Rouge for Magnificent Seven, and then from Baton Rouge we went to New Mexico. There's one year I went to Japan. There was one year that I don't do a lot of and then we did Now You See Me. The first Now You See Me, we had to spend a lot of time in New Orleans. But lately there's been a lot of work here. So in the last few years I've not really gone anywhere for work. I've just stayed in New York because it's been really busy here. So I've been to LA for work. I've been to LA, Japan, Vermont, Indiana, Louisiana, but
Have you got some good frequent flyer points now?
no, because I don't really understand how that works.
Oh.
I don't ever.
I'll have to show you.
It's like math. Yes, you should show me because I don't take the same airline all the time. I take the airline which is most convenient, and then I don't understand my. Yes, please. Yes. Short answer. Yes, please explain frequent flyer miles to me.
No worries, I'll do that.
Good.
So I've got a few more pics to show because I'm worried that Kira might be getting tired. So hold on, just make sure that our faces are there as well. Come on, faces. Huh. Why can't I do that?
Oh, okay.
Hold on.
Let's see a picture here, yeah.
I'm just gonna have Kira talking. All right, so I got a picture of you on the set of The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone want to ask a question about this? Or Kira, do you have anything to say about this?
Emma Stone is awesome. She's awesome.
Cool.
I've worked with her 3 times, so that was number 2, and she's a lot of fun to be around. She makes things fun. She's cool. So.
Then we have Maniac.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was in that too.
Boy, that looks like a very cold day. You got scarf and beanie and all.
Oh yeah, that was pretty cold. We were out there for a while. We were out in that park. I think it was Rockefeller State Park. We were out there for like a week, I think, maybe.
Wow.
Every day out there. So yeah, it can be cold. I mean, sometimes it's a lot colder for the actors because they don't get to decide what they're wearing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I often feel sorry for them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So.
Okay, any more questions, anyone? Kira's been kind enough to give us an hour of her time. Can you imagine how time flies? Yes.
This was fun. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it was fun for me. It was great to catch up with you, even though it's online. Not sure if I'll visit you this year, but I'll try to sometime soon.
Yeah.
But, I'm going to wait for another 30 seconds in case, because you remember there's a lag.
Sure.
Yeah. So, everyone, people seem to want to know how we met. I don't remember. Oh, there's another more interesting question though. Val wants to know, have you won any awards as a boom operator?
No, they don't give awards to boom operators.
What?
They don't.
That is bad.
And I've never been on a sound team that's won an Oscar. I've worked with sound mixers who have won Oscars. I've worked with people who've won Oscars, but not on the job that I was on. So no. No awards for me. No.
That's not good enough.
No. I mean, I've worked on films that have gotten awards, but not me personally. No.
Someone should have a category for boom operator, right?
Sure.
Yeah, let's create a petition. Val says, yeah, they should have a category for boom operator. I think
Sure.
so.
I'll vote for me. Although I have to be honest, I mean, there are some boom operators that are way better than me. Although they're mostly retired. Like the person who trained me was 6'5" and he was a monster. He was an amazing boom operator. Now he's a director.
6'5". Jeez.
Yeah, he was a monster. He was a great boom operator. There's a class of boom operator that's like a power boom operator, and they're big guys, and they're really strong, and they can do like amazing, have these really like an 816 mic at the end of like an 18-foot pole. I can't do that.
Wow.
I don't do that. That's a lot. So,
Would you say
I'm good
would you say you are kind of the typical regular boom operator then? Since we're talking about size and ability or specialty.
Yeah, size wise, I'm not. I mean, I'm 5'8". So there's certainly boom operators shorter than me, but there are quite a few taller. There's not a ton of women boom operators in New York, but most of them are about my height, I think, except for Michaela, but a lot of guys are really tall. I met some really tall boom operator guys, and it helps in certain situations and not in others.
Have you ever been dragged into being an extra on the set?
Yes,
Oh.
I have, and I don't like it.
Do they pay you extra?
No. I wouldn't. Why was I an extra? I was an extra. Oh, I was an extra a long time ago before I got in the union. I was a background on something. And it was one of these things where it was a really low budget movie and they just needed more people to walk through. Oh. And I did it. And I didn't get paid at all because I was just trying to help. But no, I don't. I've never wanted to be a background actor. They're the bane of my existence. I battle with background often. Background battles. So.
That's hilarious. All right, if there are no more questions, because I believe if there were any more, they should appear by now. So, thanks.
That being said, about background actors, a lot of them I like. I just want to take that back. I don't want to be like an anti-background person. It's just that sometimes they hurt me. So.
What do you mean hurt you?
Making noises when they're not supposed to, or not getting out of my way when I'm backing up and I'm not looking, and they know that I'm backing up and not looking, and they forgot, and I run into them. So but mostly that's not true. That's mostly not true.
You should have a book of rules and regulations for every extra. Here, read this before it starts.
Maybe. I don't know.
Well, thanks, Kira.
Thanks for having me.
You've been awesome. I've got a little awesome little animated GIF here. You're awesome.
Yay.
And thank you again for spending the time with me. It's always great to see you.
When did we? I don't know how. We'll have to think about how we met. I really don't. It was at a show.
Yeah.
Been at somebody's show. So, and not your show because I didn't see any of your shows until years later. So it wasn't your show. It was somebody's show. I don't know. Somebody's.
Yeah, I was at a show.
Yeah, I was at a show. Cool.
Well,
all right.
Thanks again for your time. I didn't expect to spend such an extended period with you on this interview chat thingy. I thought maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes the most, but I think you hold a very interesting job and you have so many great anecdotes to tell us, to share with us. And Bill had to have the last word in. He said, keep that boom smooth.
I think that's a good ending note. That's a good ending note. Okay. Thanks, Bill. I'll try.
So thanks again, Kira. So I'll catch up with you again soon, I hope. And stay well and stay safe.
You too.
Okay.
Bye.
I'll see you soon. Bye. So, folks, that was really nice of Kira to spend so much time with us. But we always have a good laugh when we get together and chat. So I'll be missing her this year. I won't get to visit her on the East Coast. Next week, I have another interesting guest. My friend Jeff Bell, who is a voiceover talent, also a former DJ who DJ'd across America. And he was also the voiceover on my cover of Michael Jackson's Thriller. So if you haven't heard my cover of Michael Jackson's Thriller yet, go take a listen. It's on my YouTube channel. I also have the making of the Thriller cover. But please do come and welcome my friend Jeff Bell. He is a cool dude. I guess all my friends seem to be cool in a understated kind of way. You know, all these people who work behind the scenes who are very relaxed and very real. So please do come by and say hello and make Jeff feel welcome and to party along with me again. Same time, same place, same channel on Music and Chat with Shueh-li Ong. Thanks, everyone. Please subscribe if you haven't already and stay awesome. Thanks, everyone.